Hello and welcome to the RPG Academy Podcast Twitch channel. My name is Michael, and I'm back today with some more Michael Plays the Classics. I'm revisiting the Dragon Warrior 2 video game from the original Nintendo Entertainment System. And we are heading into Malroth's Cavern once again. Yesterday I finally got there and promptly pretty much got killed, left, came back, promptly got lost. And now we're ready to start all over again. And Sumkey, thank you for joining. Happy to have you here today. Looks like we are all rested up, so I must have went to the inn first. And thank you for joining detention last night. I hope you had a good time. We should have another detention this coming Wednesday, and then it's usually every other Wednesday. Just last night was a sort of a one-off because of our other normal Wednesday, alternate Wednesday game was canceled. So, excuse me. My. So I figured out from yesterday that Malroth Cavern is just a little bit south and just a little bit west from that place. I'm very tired today. Had a hard time going to sleep last night. And then, got up early this morning, took the kids to school as has become usual this week. And then we had to replace our dishwasher. So we had someone come in to install that today. So I kind of want to start by going along the top. And I know that's full of lava, and I'm going to take damage each time I step there. So it's probably a really bad idea, but there's just something that screams to me that that's the way to go because it's the more dangerous way to go. See how much, so I'm at 114. So I'm basically taking 1 point of damage each step. That wasn't terrible. Yesterday I found a poison trap. Yep. All right. So 140. That was not worth it. So I'm just doing this to basically bypass having to walk back through all that. It's weird. Okay. All right. So we did that. So we don't have to do that again. I'm basically, I don't have a map. I'm just walking around to see what I can find. I used to have all kinds of sleeping trouble. I was sort of a closeted insomniac. I would always have a hard time going to sleep, but then I wouldn't be able to sleep like the next night. And like after 4 or 5 days, I would, come home from work and just fall asleep at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon and sleep all night and kind of lose the day. And I haven't done that lately, probably for a couple of years now. And then even now that we got into this new house, really have hardly any sleeping trouble. So when it hits me, it's just sort of like, now it's sort of like, oh, that's not what I'm used to. But the good news is, got a nice sort of relaxing weekend planned. Tomorrow, the next episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out, which of course I'm super excited about, but it's also the premiere of Invincible, the Robert Kirkman helmed animated series based on the comic he co-created. And I think the first 3 episodes drop tomorrow on Amazon Prime, and then from then on out, it'll be a weekly release for 5 additional episodes. And I really, really like the comic. I think pretty sure I've mentioned it on here before, so I'm probably repeating myself. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So yeah, I was never diagnosed with sleep apnea, but I'm pretty sure that I had it. Just as as big as I was, it would, I guess, almost be a miracle if I didn't. But I never had a sleep study, and I never, had to do anything specifically for it. But a friend of mine got a sleep study. He had sleep apnea. He lost like 60 pounds, but he still is on the CPAP machine. And he just talks about how much of a world of difference it made to him to, be able to get sleep. And he actually said that was a big part of how he continued to lose weight, is he just had so much more energy because he was actually resting at night when he was sleeping. So it's kind of, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Basically, it sort of sneaks up on you, and you don't realize that you're losing sleep every night. But yeah, I jumped into the chat and was spamming messages about buying followers, and I almost never have to deal with that, so I wasn't sure how to fix it. But I was able to go in and ban them. So, and then I had to move my ring light, so that's why you had that weird thing in front of my face for a couple seconds there. So my apologies. So one thing I've noticed is I pretty much was always a side sleeper, pretty much my entire life, and now I'm a back sleeper. I'll go to sleep on my side, but I almost always wake up on my back. And then I'm also cold a lot of the time now, just constantly cold. So at night, I'm more likely to have like thick blankets on. I have like a big weighted blanket, and then I also have a heated, not like a mattress pad, so not a heated blanket, but underneath. And even on nights when it's particularly warm, I often will have those on, even if it's like on a low setting. But yeah, just can't seem to feel warm anymore, which is, I guess, I've been told it's because I just have so much less fat. It's like insulating me, but it's like a weird thing. Okay, so I believe this is the only way to go then. So on that first level, basically this is pretty much the only way to go. But on the next level is where things get a little bit more confusing. Okay. So I'm going to try to map a little bit. I'm not going to do anything like to scale, but maybe just sort of help me not get so lost. I'm pretty sure that was the trapped chest, so I'm just not going to deal with it today. Excuse me. So we had someone come in and install our new dishwasher today, and we found out that the people who had installed the old one just absolutely jacked it up. They did things that were 100% against code. It didn't have a ground wire. They spliced the electric cord into another cord, that cord into another cord, and then that cord into another cord, and then that cord they wired into an outlet in the basement to give it power. So when we figured that out, the people that installed it today did it correctly, but then I had these wires that would have just been exposed, so I had to unrun it, cut it all down, and then I unhooked it from the outlet it was hooked into. But apparently I knocked something loose doing that because now that outlet doesn't work, and that outlet is what powers both of our garage door openers. So, I mean, luckily you can open them manually. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just frustrating because I don't know a lot about electricity other than it's dangerous. So I felt comfortable doing what I did because I knew the breakers were off, and those people were there, and they kind of, helped me a little bit to make sure I wasn't doing anything crazy. But they're done. They're gone, and now we don't have electricity in the basement, and so I'm a little bit worried about trying to get back in there and fixing it. Come on, Arth. Whew, there we go. Okay, so we can go that way. That way. So let's go here first. Yeah, it was kind of frightening when I started pulling everything down. And that's just me being ignorant. You hire someone to do a job and you just kind of trust that they're doing the best they can. And I remember they even told me that they were having to run a line because there wasn't an outlet there. But I just thought that was, kind of standard. Like, okay, you just run an outlet, whatever, you charge me $20 more or whatever. Yeah, so we had hired some people when we first bought the house to do some things for us. We didn't know anybody around, and we just sort of happened to find somebody who was willing to do it, and it was bad all the way around. We had so many problems with them that we basically we didn't like make them stop, but as soon as we had more things to do, we just like, nope, we're good. Okay, so there is a stairways down. And if I come over here, it's just an empty room. Then we go back over here. Okay. Oh no. All right. Well. Okay, we're in trouble now. Because Arth is the one that has all the spells that let me just teleport home. And I don't know if I have anything else. So we are going to have to abort right here and go back and hit a tavern or an inn or whatever. Okay. Whew. I probably overreacted a little bit to that, but it made me nervous when my sort of safety valve was broken. All right, so let's hit the end, get a good night's sleep. Since I'm here, I'll go ahead and check in with the old king dude to see how far away I am for leveling, just so I know. So 9,000, 2452. Okay. So I should at least be able to get Artho leveled up this session. Don't know about the rest of them. Birdman. Bum, 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 bum. Supposed to play some DC Deck Builder tomorrow night on Tabletop Simulator. I know I've mentioned that before as well, but I'm turning into a big fan of that program. Just being able to play a bunch of games with people online. You know, still not exactly the same as far as getting together with people, but one that's, even if it wasn't for quarantine, that wouldn't be possible, as the majority of my friend group live in another state at this point. But especially with a card game that has a lot of moving pieces and parts like DC, more like Marvel Legendary, it's actually kind of nice to be able to just like throw the game together digitally, and then when you're done, just close the program. Like you don't have to put all the stuff up, you know? So that's definitely one of the silver lining benefits. Okay. So we should be getting back soon to level 2. So if I go down here, so I'm looking at my map. These are the things that messed me up. Taking all my magic points. You know, it's definitely a fun game. I've really enjoyed playing it. I think I prefer Marvel Legendary to it, but it has some benefits in the fact that it's much easier to set up and start playing. It's easier to tear down when you're done. Digital version notwithstanding, you know, even in real life. But I think I prefer Marvel Legendary to DC Deck Builder myself. But both are fun. I will happily play either just about any time if it's an option and other people are into it. Somebody on Tabletop Simulator, they have this thing called the workshop, which is where people can create their own games or make versions of games that exist. Someone has taken the DC Deck Builder game and made a Marvel version of it. So you play with Marvel characters rather than DC, but it basically works exactly the same. And we played that not too long ago, and it was a ton of fun. Okay, so I want to go here, been there. Alright, so now we're going to go here, here, and here. Yeah, remember this is where there were just like a whole bunch of stairs going down. And my guess is it's not going to matter ultimately which one I go down, that they probably all can get me there. But I don't know that for sure. Okay. Yeah, some of them are really, really well done though. Like I'm pretty impressed with some of the things people can automate and script when you're playing some of those games, and it does so much of the work for you. It's very, very cool. Huh. I have to break out another card because my scale, my little mapping here, no longer works. Yeah, when I was playing the first game, when I played Dragon Warrior, I made graph paper maps, and I was tracking all my progress, and I am posting the maps that I made online. It was like a really fun part of what I was doing. But these dungeons didn't seem to be as involved in some cases, so I kind of felt like I was able to get away with not doing it. But at this point, at least with this dungeon, I feel like it's going to speed things up. I know I have graph paper somewhere nearby because again, I was using it not too long ago. I might transfer over this doodle that I'm doing onto that for next time, assuming that I don't get through it today. All right. So by my count, that was the 7th stairway leading down that I have found so far on this level. There we go. Graph paper. I'm going to stick with my little cards for the moment, but I probably will transfer them over here in a second. Okay. So that's the 8th stairway leading down. And here's the 9th. All right, so we're going to start with number 9. All right. Give me 1 second here. That is. Yeah, nothing but professionalism here at the RPG Academy, let me tell you. There we go. It had gotten squished, and basically the new messages were below the window. So it just wasn't showing them until the next ones came up. If only I knew what I was doing, right? Actually, spell fireball item. I'm glad you think so. Ooh, man, this is a tough fight. Ooh, no, not good. And she's dead. Okay, so item. Sort of hoping that that was just going to make a big loop and that it was a dead end, because then that would have helped me cross off this as a way to go. But no such luck. Okay, so we come in here, and we have another stairway down, but we also have a way to go here. Oh man, that's the same fight that got me killed earlier. Man, they just ganging up on Ortho. And he's dead. Man! And I don't have another one of those things to revive him here in the battle. Well, that stinks. So let's see if I can run at this point. Okay. So I'm just going to poke my head here. So Alon has outside, which I didn't realize before. And then all right, so here's where I get that leap thing. Okay. So we know how this works. We'll hit the inn. Save our progress. I think I got time for one more trip back into the cave to see if I can figure things out or start to. Still would like to at least get Artho leveled up. Yeah, he's really close. And Alani's not far away. All right, so let's head back to the cave. So part of me wants to try to go all the way through level 2 back to stair 9 to complete what I was doing before, but I kind of think it makes more sense to go to the first stair, which would be stair 2 by my reckoning, since I don't have a ton of time left, and see how far I can get that way. So that's probably what I'll do. All right. So those things are worth a bunch of experience if you can kill them, but they almost always run away before you can. All right, so right here should be what I'm calling stairway number 2. That sucker's tough. All right, looks like we got Artho leveled up. Power by 1, reaction speed 2, 8 more hit points, that's great. 6 more magic points and a new spell. New spells are always fun, so let's see what we got. Defeat. I do not know what that means. Okay, so we're at 2. And then that would be 11. And then 12. Okay, so let's go down 12. And then we have 12. There's a chest. I'm kind of scared now because that one poisoned me. Oh, wait. Okay, so that is What is that? That is... All right, my map is terrible. I think that's 6. I think that's the same. Yeah, it is. So that takes me to number 6. So if I go back through here, whoops, then I can go down 11. Now we're at 11. And I think that, yep, I'm betting that's, yep. Okay, so all those basically just make a big circle. So I don't really have to worry about 2, don't really have to worry about 6, and I don't really have to worry about 8. So all of those can pretty much just be ignored. So I didn't get very far, but I've actually made a ton of progress in being able to eliminate some. Let's see if I can just run from this one because these things suck. All right, so then this should put me back here at 9. I got lucky. Let's see if I can get lucky again. Yeah, woohoo. So this should be stairway 9. So that puts me back to here. And last time I went up, so this time I want to go left. See if it circles back around. It does. Okay. So then we're going through 10. So 10, this looks new and different. So that might be the way we need to go. So it looks like we basically need to go this, nope. So 10 is a dead end. Okay, so 10 is a dead end, which means 9 is a dead end. Okay. Hello. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for jumping in for a minute. My name's Michael. I play old video games that I love as a kid. I don't claim to know how to play them well. I don't teach other people how to play them well. I just relive some of the old games from when I was a youngster. I'm currently playing Dragon Warrior 2, and I'm getting lost, but somehow maybe less lost at the moment. Oh no, son of a gun. So I'm currently in Malroth's Cave, and there's a whole bunch of stairs, but they seem to somewhat circle around on back on top of each other. So I'm trying to figure out where I actually am. Okay, so it looks like the person that died is the one that has the Leaf of the World, which means I don't think I can use it. Well, that stinks. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to have to jump outside and then go back and to use a spell to basically jump back here. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, you're more than welcome to share with me and make this a little bit less miserable for everyone. Hints would definitely be yes, pretty much. Though actually, I think um, I don't know if there's anybody here that can revive her either. I think I'm still gonna have to go get that leaf tree. Oh, interesting. Leaf of the world, trade to Kale. Oh, look at that. You are correct. Awesome. So now I can give it back to her. Nice. Thank you for that, floppy flagpoles. I really appreciate the assist there. All right. So my last trip into the cave, I had eliminated 3 of the potential stairways, actually 4, that didn't take me anywhere. So I have a few left. I can make one more jump back in there. I normally play for like 45 minutes, roughly, but with everybody jumping in, I would hate to just turn the stream off right now. And I got nothing to do, so I can certainly spend a few extra minutes. But I've done a playthrough of the first Dragon Warrior, the original Final Fantasy, first Legend of Zelda. I did a couple one-offs. I played like 10-Yard Fight, which is like the worst football game ever on Nintendo, but I absolutely love it. I have more fun playing that than the other games that are actually better. And then I think I did like Super Mario Brothers once, just putzing around. But again, my shtick here is that I'm not trying to teach people how to play the games. I don't know any secrets. I'm just reliving them and then hanging out with people. Sumkey is one of the regulars. He hangs out with me just about every day. I have a couple others who usually join me, but they are not here today. But I would love if anybody who is currently watching would follow the channel. We're actually a channel about role-playing games. We have a podcast that's maybe mid-tier as far as listenership. I've been doing it for a very long time. And then in addition to me playing video games during the day, I do some mini painting poorly. And then we also run some live games. We have a 5e game running right now. We have a 13th Age game running right now. And then I also do a D&D like talk show every other week called Detention. And actually, Sumkey joined me last night for the first time ever in a detention. At least I think that was his first time there. Where we talk about role-playing games and board games, but mostly role-playing games. All right, so this here should take me. I know fighting's important, but sometimes it's just like, come on, just let me get there. So this is a game I played as a kid, and I remember beating it, but 35 years ago, roughly. So I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I've tried to avoid going on the internet and like just looking things up. There's been a few places where I've had to, just because I got myself a little bit turned around. So I don't really remember a whole lot of things, but I do know that there are a lot of, like I kind of know like I'm here to get an item that will let me open a cavern. All right, so now I'm on level 2, and I've been able, there's 8 different stairways down on this level. And so far, I've been able to cross 4 of them off as they don't go anywhere. They go in circles. They backtrack. So if I can, I'll just pick the next one, which would be stair number 3 for me. I know that doesn't mean anything to anyone watching or listening, but I'll try that one to see if it takes me anywhere. That one should be here. Yep. So this would be stairway 3 for me. So And I got some note cards here. I'm trying to make a little bit of a map. So that would be stairway 13. And whew, this is going to be rough. So one of my characters just got a new spell. It's called Defeat, but I don't know what it does. My guess is that it's one of those spells that is like an instant kill, but it only affects certain monsters, probably monsters that are a certain level weaker than me. But I don't know that for sure. And Alon's about to die again. Okay, spell, fireball again, item, echo, staff of thunder. Defeat. Man, Alani is just having a rough go of things today, isn't she? I think, do I have to take it from her again? Or do I not? I thought I still had one of those leaf things. Do I not? I do not. I thought I had one more. Okay, I just want to double check something because I feel like that is actually stairway 4. I believe it is. Let me go back here and double check. This should be 3. Yep. So 3 and 4 just circle around and they don't actually do anything either. So, all right, well, I've only got 2 left on this dungeon, so 5 and 7, but I'm gonna have to jump back out of here to get her resurrected again, and I won't put the audience through that. So thank you again, Sumkey, of course, for just hanging out with me today, and then Floppy Flagpoles for jumping in with some of your followers. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. Again, hopefully some of you will follow the channel and jump back in. Normally Monday through Friday, I play an old Nintendo game, currently Dragon Warrior 2, usually around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Every other Wednesday, we have a live stream, either the 5e D&D game or my talk show. And then on every other Tuesday, that's when I run a 13th Age, which is basically D&D, but a little bit different game. And then right now on Sundays is when I've been doing my painting shows. But everything I do can be found at the RPG Academy, Twitter, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff. We're mostly an audio-only podcast, so if anyone has any interest in that, please check out our podcast. And we have tons and tons and tons of shows, from actual play to how to play, learn to play, interviews with designers, highlights on new games coming out. If you think of a show in the TTRPG space, we probably have done something about it at some point in time. But thanks again for everybody for hanging out for a little bit, and hopefully I'll see some of you back tomorrow.